Greetings, legends. Today we are hitting you with a video that you've all been waiting for. Goose the cat, explained. Now, it probably goes without saying that Goose the cat is by far the best character in Captain Marvel, but a case could be made that the cat is actually the best character in all of the MCU. It's really probably not even close at this point. No, I'm just kidding, but without a doubt, a ton of people seeing Captain Marvel are going to have a question about what the hell Goose the cat actually is and what this cat can do. Now, keep in mind before we go any farther, I do want to preface this video by saying that, of course, there will be spoilers in this video. Now, rest assured, if you're one of those people who types, "Spoilers, blah, blah, I'm soft, I make bad decisions, and I look up videos that I should be avoiding until I see movies," into my comment section, your comment will be deleted. And it will be deleted faster than Carol Danvers when she's cracking heads in outer space, boy. The first thing you need to know about Goose the cat is that Goose is based off of a comic book character who is pretty much the exact same thing with a different name. In the comics, Goose goes by Chewie. In Captain Marvel the film, it's easy to understand why the name was changed. Carol is a pilot in the late 80s and she's surrounded by other pilots. Therefore, Top Gun would have been all the rage, and it just makes sense that whoever found Goose around that time would have named that cat after one of the main characters from that wildly popular movie. In the comics, though, it is slightly different, with Carol naming the cat Chewie because it pretty much just looks like Chewbacca and she likes Star Wars. Chewie's first appearance is giant-sized Marvel #1, and Chewie wasn't actually even named in this issue. He just appeared as a normal cat living in the home of Sir Warren Traveler. Traveler claimed to be the Sorcerer Supreme and was rampaging through New York using the Eye of Watum, and Carol was pretty much on the ropes when she asked the cat if it had any superpowers as a joke. Hardy, hardy, har, we're gonna get to that later, but Instead, she chucks the cat at Sir Traveler. Now, the cat is eventually named during Miss Marvel Volume 2, number 5. It's not really an important element of the story. All of the cat's real history comes much, much later. For many years, Carol believes that her normal, domesticated house cat is just that, a house cat. And it's not. A number of years later, and after a radical status quo shift in Carol's powers during the events of Captain Marvel Volume 8, Carol decides she needs to leave Earth. She says goodbye to her love interest War Machine, and she leaves Earth to explore the universe and help. She jokingly asks War Machine to take care of her cat, and he pretty much says no. So when she leaves, she takes the cat with her. The next issue of the same series sees Carol go up against a Chrysan bounty hunter ship. The ship attacks and Carol fights back, locking Chewie in his cage. After destroying the ship, she meets up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and when they enter the ship, Rocket immediately freaks out. Rocket pulls a blaster on Chewie and tries to kill him, and Carol stops him, demanding to know what is his problem with her cat, and he mentions that Chewie is not a cat, he is a Flerken. Carol, admittedly ignorant to the situation, claims that Chewie is just a regular cat. But Rocket is not convinced, and he does mention that destroying the whole ship before the Flerken can lay its eggs is the best course of action. Carol convinces him to chill out, and he leaves, swearing to keep an eye on this deadly beast. But Rocket doesn't actually stop there. He puts out word that Carol has a Flerken in her position, and Flerken are extremely rare and very dangerous, and that makes them very valuable. Rocket explains that Flerkens are gateways to pocket dimensions, so a bounty hunter ship arrives to collect the Flerken. Carol is still convinced that Chewie is just a cat, but remember how we were just talking about laying eggs a second ago? Yeah, this thing does lay eggs, and it is a Flerken. It lays hundreds of eggs, and it looks pretty smug about it. I mean, look at that face. The ship remains under attack by some type of spaceship black goop. It's weird. They never really mention the name of the species invading or what it wants other than this, but after defeating the ship and saving the day, we do see the horrendous final form of Chewie. What is this nightmare fuel? I don't know what that is, but it's going to be in my nightmares forever. And the act of pure horror also seems to make Rocket fall in some kind of love with the Flerken. Immediately, he changes to a fan of the species. Carol and Rocket take Chewie and her 117 offspring to an intergalactic rescue center in the Tyvorn cluster where she planned to leave Chewie and all of the baby Flerkens. And Carol does try to leave Chewie and the baby Flerkens there, but Chewie can teleport. Remember? Pocket dimensions? So Chewie teleports back to Carol's ship to accompany her on her further adventures. Now, the powers of this species, the Flerken, are not well known because there just isn't a lot of comics where they make appearances. Flerken are believed to have pocket dimensions inside of them, and for those of you who watch the film, you will no doubt understand this. Flerken are able to consume massive amounts of objects and store them in their own specific pocket dimension. They can later regurgitate items or just, I guess, use them for fuel like normal food. They seem to have fangs and tentacles that are produced from these pocket dimensions as an extension of their true form as well. It's kind of hard to say, I'm really just speculating here, nobody knows. Also, they can teleport, probably using this pocket dimension in some way, but I won't even pretend to know how it works. And that is really about it in terms of Goose, aka Chewie the Flerken. I hope you guys learned a lot about the species. There really isn't a lot out there about it, but if you saw the film, you probably had those questions at least. Now for the normal YouTube things, please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, or even if you're new and want to support us, consider becoming a member by clicking the join button below. We have a ton of cool membership perks as well, so feel free to check those out. Also, consider joining our insane Discord server, where you can meet tons of comic book fans and comic book movie and TV fans. That link is in the comments section and in the description, and in pretty much everything we do. This has been Nick with Key Issues, and you know the motto, comics over everything.